Welcome into Arsenal Report, and the story to talk about is Noni Madueke. All the Arsenal fans are against it. There's not one fan I've seen who's categorically for the signing of Noni Madueke, and it's not necessarily a done deal, but it's certainly progressing in a way that many Arsenal fans are nervous about. For those who don't know Noni that well, he's a 23-year-old English kid who ended up at the PSV Academy after years with Tottenham and really became one of the biggest young stars in the world before a couple of bad injuries derailed him a little bit, but eventually found his way to Chelsea. And in the past couple of years at Chelsea, he's been solid. 10 goals and 5 assists in all competitions last year for Chelsea. He's been playing for them in the Club World Cup off the bench. He's had some issues here and there, but the price at the moment is what's the biggest holdup. Arteta's pushing for the move. Arteta and Noni and Berta have all settled on a contract for Noni Madueke, staying at around that same $50K per week that he's making currently at Chelsea. Chelsea, however, want 55 million euros for Noni Madueke. Arsenal don't want to pay more than 40. I don't think Arsenal should want to pay more than 35, if you asked me. But they are at the table over the talks. Chelsea feel that they're going to pinch Arsenal for the amount of money that they want. Arsenal hopefully are going to stand strong on their, we're not going higher than 40. Because as young and talented as Noni Madueke still is, 23 years old, and I believe that he could be a good backup to Bukayo Saka, at over 40 million pounds, you're not talking about backup squad rotation pieces here. You're talking at full starter level prices that I don't think Arsenal should be spending on Noni Madueke unless his role in the team is a little bit different than what we all expect. When you see a signing for a right winger, when you have Bukayo Saka, potentially our best player, in that position, you assume that you're looking at somebody who's coming in as a backup, who's coming in as rotation. So Bukayo Saka doesn't have to play 4,500 minutes next year for club and country. However, some people are starting to feel that Noni Madueke is potentially also a starting left wing signing, and that he has played some matches at left wing, 11 matches in his career where he started at left wing, 2 goals and an assist in those 11 matches. Now, signing a right winger to play left wing who's played a few matches there in his career doesn't exactly excite Arsenal fans either, and it shouldn't. So then what is his role in the team? Is he going to play as Saka's backup for 50 million pounds? Is he going to challenge Martinelli and Trossard at that left wing position? Is he potentially going to play a little bit more centrally, which again, he has done a few times in his career. He's played 15 or so matches in a center forward, number 10, second striker type of role with decent return, actually. He does have 4 goals and 6 assists in 15 matches there, but keep in mind, if you're more central, you're more involved in goals. That is generally how it goes. The role in the team, to me, for Noni Madueke, the only way it makes sense to me is if he comes in as Saka backup, once in a while plays off that left wing in matches where it makes sense against lesser opposition, maybe in cup games or in the Champions League group stage matches. But any more than 40 million pounds, to me, is a bad deal for Arsenal to be getting done on Noni Madueke. And then there's the question of what his effect has on Ethan Nwaneri. Because Ethan Nwaneri has mostly played a Saka backup so far. We have heard the club and the player talk about the fact that they see him as a number 8 or a number 10. So that's not where Saka plays. But at this very moment, we have players in that position. Martin Odigard, potentially Eberechi Eze coming in that position. So if you sign Madueke and you sign Eze, then where are the minutes for Ethan? He could probably play the same amount of minutes he played this year, but clearly he wasn't fully satisfied with that. I think he was satisfied with that being the amount of minutes he played as a 17-year-old, but if he played 1,800 minutes last year, he's going to want to play 2,500 minutes this year, which I also think is fair. And there's no amount of money Noni Madueke would be worth to stop Ethan Nwaneri from re-signing a new contract at Arsenal. Ethan is one of the biggest young stars in the world. And if Noni Madueke signing comes at the cost of Ethan Nwaneri signing a new contract, this is a bad deal. No matter the cost, no matter the wages. I do believe Ethan will mostly be Odigard backup this year. We're moving more towards a traditional number 10. That's where Ethan's best. I think that kind of lower part of the pitch where Odigard played the past couple of years is not where Ethan wants to play. Ethan wants to be in that final third, making creative actions in the final third, getting goals and assists. So I believe with Odegaard's position moving a little bit further up the pitch, it works better with Ethan being his rotation option and potentially challenging him for that starting number 10 role. But Noni Madueke and Eze both coming in would make it hard for me to see where the minutes are for Ethan unless Noni is being seen as a left winger. So again, we go back to that conversation. Is it Eze and Noni kind of our left wing signings? Eze can play a little number 10. Noni can play a little number off the right, and then you don't go sign a Rodrygo. So then it questions, what does the rest of the window look like? Is Noni Madueke our marquee winger signing? Potentially, right? Potentially it's Gyökeres, Noni, and Eze, and those are your 3 attacking signings. Now, is that good enough? Have we improved our starting 11? We have in ways, because Eze would be the best left winger we have. He's better than Martinelli and Trossard. Gyökeres, different option to Havertz, gives us a goal scorer who's scored at a level that no one in our team has. Noni is an upgrade on Raheem Sterling in terms of backup right wing, potentially playing some left wing games. Younger, more potential, sellable asset in the future. So in ways, Noni as a marquee winger signing isn't the worst thing to happen, but none of this, as you can tell, is very exciting for Arsenal. It felt like we were, for a little while there, making massive moves. Sesko, Rodrygo, Eze, changing the way we are going to attack, changing the way that this team looks. At this very moment, that looks to be in jeopardy. And as this Noni deal gets closer, I get more concerned with the way this transfer window is going to finish. But we have to give Andrea Berta the whole summer before we judge him. So make sure you're staying here at Arsenal Report, subscribing right down there, because every day we've got videos breaking down the transfers, the rumors, the links, how it's going to affect the team, what it looks like tactically, more to come. So thanks for watching Arsenal Report, and we'll see you tomorrow.